Good morning from Dr. Frank. A new video from Ask Dr. Frank and TAF180, the TAF180 degrees coaching model. The last episodes we talked about needs, strength, convictions, what you're doing good, and many other things. So to make the conclusion, it was the 3-field matrix. I was telling you about the 3-field matrix, and I hope that you're looking a little bit in the papers on my webpage what are the structure of the 3-field matrix, and that you also working with it repeatedly, because it's very important that you're not only working one time with all these models and tools what I'm giving to you. It's very important that you repeat it and that you learn and try to build in these tools into your daily communication and in your daily behavior for yourself and for your communication with other people. So today I told you that we are changing to another tool from the TAF180 online coaching or from the 180 degrees model. So what we're talking about today is the 4-field matrix. 4-field matrix means that we're talking about today about 4 points what are very important for you and for other people in the way to analyze if you're doing things good or bad, because it's very important that you also have the possibility in communications to talk about the reality and the real situation, if your behavior is good and right and on a good way, or if you are on a path where you maybe lie to yourself and you say everything is good but nothing is very good. So sometimes we are lying to ourselves, and this is very bad either. So the point is, the most important thing is that you have a tool also in communication with other people where you can realize and communicate clearly you're doing things right and good. So there is no problem when you are on this point, or you're doing things right and bad. So this is a little bit problematic, because when you're doing the right things bad, then you just have to do a small thing, but you have to communicate this small thing, and you have to communicate this thing also to your conversation partner. You have to exercise. So when you do things right and bad, then the thing is only that you have a lack of training or a lack of exercise. When you're doing things bad and good, then you have a problem, because when you do bad things good, then you are not doing the things what you actually want to do. You're doing something wrong. I mean, this is clearly outspoken with this communication. You're doing something what is not the right thing. So you have only one possibility. You have to change the process. And what it means that you do the right things wrong means, for example, when you have a communication or when you have a situation where you, for example, doing a work or a process like skiing on grass, for example, then it's the wrong thing what you're doing to do right. And the only thing what you can do then is to change the process. There is no other possibility. You have to change the situation. So in the 4th field on the 4-field matrix is that you're doing bad things worst, or wrong thing bad. And it means this field you can completely erase, because this field is not the field what we're working with. Because every time when you're doing something, then you're doing something with a good attention. So at least you're doing something. Yeah, so the point is, when you have a 4-field matrix, and I repeat it now again because it's a little bit difficult, and as you know, English is not my mother tongue, but it's interesting when you accepting that there is a tool what you can use to say to somebody else, look, you do something good and right, there's thumb up, but there is always a room for improvement. So even when you say, okay, you are good and right in this what you are doing, then you still have room for improvement, and you have room for doing things better. So you are on the right way, you're doing things right for yourself, for your own communication and for your own reflection of processes. Means this then, you, for example, when you want to lose weight. So the point is, yes, you're losing weight, you're doing things, you try to work on this process, and you have to work on this process. So it's right and good that you're working on this process. You are in this process, you're doing this process, you're working in this process, and everything is good. But you should improve, and you should continuing, and it should go on further and further. When we stay on the example of weight losing continuously, then we should ask ourselves, but also, do I do the things right and good, okay, or do I do the things right, the right things wrong? And when you do the things right and wrong, for example, when you want to lose weight and you're eating much more as you should eat, and you start to eat your main meal at 11 o'clock in the night, then you do the good intention with the wrong process. So you have to change this process.